How thick is 7mm? It's about the thickness of my phone. The thickness of a standard pencil. It's also the size of a garden pea. It's time to tackle this door, and I'm going to do that the best way and the only way I know how to, with a grinder.
There's no surprises that these doors are going to be hiding some absolute horrors under all that filler. The grinder is the only option to get this stuff off fast and reveal what we have hiding under this mess. This isn't an advert for health and safety, this is us making a start taking some of that chud from the doors. The bottom area here is the worst affected part on all of the doors, but it was coming off relatively easy and you could see how uneven the panels really were. We need to knuckle down and crack on with it.
Well, 7mm is the thickness of some of the filler we managed to chip out of this door. So a pencil, a pea, and the width of my phone is how thick the filler was on the door of our Brasilia.
And as expected, they're not looking great. There's a massive patch here where someone's cut it out and tried to weld it up. They're about as level as the ocean, as you can see by these little divots of filler. It's such an uneven panel in so many places. The bottom of this door is completely rotten out, which we somewhat knew. These doors are really in a bad shape. As you can see, look how uneven that panel is. But putting the negativity of that door to one side, we still have another one to crack on with. Now you may think this is the same door that we just shown you, but you're wrong. They're just rusty in the same places. It's like when they made these in Brazil, they had an objective to make sure that over 30 years, 40 years time, they're going to rot out exactly the same. And if that's the case, well done Mr. Brazilian Volkswagen, because you've nailed that to a T. The final step after stripping the door back is to blow all this dust away. All that filler that is years old. Get rid of it so we can expose the rough surface that we're left with. And there's so much of it, it's absolutely everywhere. That's a good job done in my book.
Both doors have had the full grinder treatment. And unfortunately, it's revealed the true state of these doors. We knew it wasn't going to be great, but these doors are pretty, well, I don't know if bad cuts it, but they aren't great. I think the waves on the sea are straighter than these doors, and that's saying something. So this is the passenger door. Now, there's a big dip there. Massive dip in there, all the way along here. It's not flat at all. I know this is going to have some slight curve to it, but that is just like an ocean. This isn't so bad at the top here. Still very, very wavy. Obviously, this bottom corner is non-existent. It's left to chat. Got rust and actual holes there. Rust there all the way through the bottom. That is gone. It's also gone on the underside of the door there and around here. Yeah, this not looking good, bruv. The reason I've got the doors inside my office is because any little bit of moisture in the air will make these start to rust again. It's only going to be surface rust. That's never going to rust as bad as it has done already just by being bare metal. But in the garage, a little bit of moisture, they will rust. So we need to get some protection on them, and then we can turn our concentration to prepping the sides, and then these doors will be good enough to head back to Surrey for Kaz and probably Brian to weld them up.
This is the time in the video where people jump on the comment section down below and say, that's not that bad, that can be fixed, that's nothing to worry about, I've seen worse. Well, to me, who's not a professional, it looks pretty bad and it is pretty daunting. Using some Auto Finesse panel wipe solution, we need to get a good coating of this on the door, and then using a microfiber cloth we can actually clean the panel, making sure we get rid of all the residue that's left on there for good adhesion for the paint. And the paint we're using is Etch Primer. We need to get a good coat of that on. Once we have the first layer on, we can see actually how wavy these doors are. Hideous repair on the bottom there. I don't know who on earth got away with doing that. But the door is really uneven. However, the top half isn't so bad. So we've got to count the small wins where we can. But all in all, it's not great. With that first coat on and being cold, we're going to use the heat gun just to try and dry it off a little bit. Just remember, we aren't going for paint shop finishes here. Most of this panel that I've just painted is probably going to be cut out and replaced anyway. We just need to get some protection on it to stop it from rusting again whilst it's being stored in my garage and then being transited all the way over to Surrey for Brian and Kaz to cut to absolute pieces. And easy as that, that's the first door done, hooked straight on the wall of shame, and then it was time to turn our attention to the next one. And we're going to repeat the exact same process for what we did for the first door. I had to pick up the phone to Jake at HR Autoworks for some advice, and then just like that, the door was done. Again, this was boasting another awful repair down the bottom. The seam was actually split between the two panels. More rust in the middle of the door moving towards the end. Again, not a pretty picture, but that was that. Both the doors are now ready to go to Surrey.
But unfortunately, that is all we have got time for. So if you have enjoyed this video, smash that thumbs up button, smash the subscribe button down below. Check out some of the other videos on the Brasilia progress if you're new here. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in the next one. Peace out.